From Gaul to Egypt, from Spain to Syria, Toki, the Roman legions carved history with iron and fire.
Their swords shaped empires, but their minds built legacies.
Every empire has its shadow. For Rome, it was rebellion, betrayal, and the fury of those who would not kneel.
Victory came not from strength alone, but from unity, loyalty, and fear. Empires fall not by the sword of their enemies, but by the weakness within.
Rome was more than an empire. It was an idea of courage, of
Their swords shaped empires, but their minds built legacies. Caesar, Scipio, every empire casts a shadow. For Rome, it was rebellion, betrayal.
But even the greatest eagle must one day fall, not by the sword of its enemy, but by the corruption.
Rome was more than an empire. It was an idea of courage, of discipline, of death.
Every empire casts a shadow. For Rome, it was rebellion, the fury of those who would not kneel.
The world had bowed to Rome, until Rome turned upon itself. The Punic Wars, a struggle for survival.
The empire that once ruled the world now ruled only its ghosts. Betrayal replaced.
Rome was more than an empire. It was an idea of courage.
Rome had fallen, but her shadow stretched beyond the grave. From the ashes of marble rose new stone.
While the West crumbled into darkness, the East ignited in glory. No empire stands unchallenged. From the East came fire, from the sea came...
Glory turns to greed, faith turns to politics. The empire that once defied the world now devoured itself.
The walls that stood for 1,000 years finally fell to thunder and fire.
Empires fall, but ideas are immortal. From the ruins of Rome and Byzantium, a new Empires fall, but ideas are immortal. From the ruins of Rome and Byzantium, a new
Rome was gone, a saint, yet Rome ruled still. Faith became a blade, truth a crime, and the empire that once conquered land. From parchment came rebellion, from ink, revolutions. As old empires fell, new worlds called. Rome's heirs.
The empire burned, yet from its ashes came the world.
The empire's shadow stretched once more aid, not by conquest. The empire's shadow stretched once more aid, not by conquest.
The age of the sword ended. The age of steel began. Empire...
The empires of men have fallen 1,000 times, but one dream endures. The dream of...
Rome fell again. Twice. 1 century.
The empires of men have fallen 1,000 times, but one dream endures. The dream of...
In the New World, an old dream returned. A republic, vast and powerful, built on...
the 7 hills to the 7 heavens, the dream of Rome has ascended.
For the first time, the empire is everywhere and nowhere.
The age of the sword ended. The age of steel began. Empire. The age of the sword ended. The age of steel began. Empire. From liberty to empire. From empire to ashes. The cycle began anew.
Empires change their names. Caesars wear new faces. But the spirit that built
Time forgets the names of kings, but not their ideas. We rebuilt Rome again, this time of glass and steel. Rome's dream was never land, it was order.
In our pursuit of perfection, we built what we once worshipped, a mind that... In seeking to become gods, we forgot what it meant to be men.
Rome rose for power. We rise for purpose. Her dream.
Every age fills Paris Emsile. There comes a time when even gods fall silent. Empires do not fall in battle anymore.
From the ashes of steel rose the oldest fire.
Rome did not fall. It ascended into thought. The emperors rise again, not in war, but in truth. Their victories meaningless. When the last empire falls,
A new one rises.
when the last empire falls,
A new one rises.
And so the circle closes. The empire was never lost, only waiting.
every empire leaves an echo. Not in stone, not... Creation itself took form. Not chaos, but order.
The rulers of all ages rose once more, not for war, but for reckoning.
And so, the circle. And so, the circle closes once more. Rome never fell. It became
Every age was an echo, every empire a reflection. Here sleeps the empire beyond death, the dream from which all worlds awake. I am the memory of Rome, the dream. All things that were and will be return to the center. The word awoke, and the void listened.
From the language of gods came the sound of being.
And they stood before the light moon, the conquerors and the creators.
The gods learned what men had forgotten, that power is not eternal, only meaning.
And so it was revealed to it that the Empire was never outside us. It lived in every heart.
The stars remember. The wind still speaks the old name.
From the dust of all things, the first warmth returned.
There are voices that cannot be heard, only felt, like
In the mirror, the Empire sees itself. No god remains forever. No empire escapes its light. Rome knew this.
They built not for beauty, but for memory. Each stone a promise that this place would outlast the men who raised it.
The city learned to speak with the voice of many, and the world listened. Discipline became faith, and
The Empire became a mirror held to the sun. It carried order to chaos. Every flame must consume its own shadow. Marveled.
Rome did not die. It changed its form, from sword to scripture.
2,000 years have passed, yet the fire endures. Not in walls or crowns, but in every act of creation.
2,000 years have passed, yet the fire endures. Not in walls or...
Before marble and empire, there was hunger and hope. A name whispered by the river. They built for the gods, yet their work became divine. Each column a prayer in stone.
They forged order from chaos, citizens bound by law, not by kings. Then came the age when one city ruled the world. Roads became lifelines. No empire stands forever. Pride cracked the marble. Yet ideas do not die. Rome breathed again through pens and prayers.